Hey guys, this is a yoga class for the hamstrings. I have a lot of clients, I'm also a massage therapist, that ask me to work on their hamstrings. It's kind of like a huge complaint for a lot of people, is tight hamstrings. So I'm going to do a class on it. You might need 2 blocks, a blanket, and a strap. Preferably 2 blocks that your dog is chewed up. Especially if you do have tight hamstrings, you might need all of those. So just grab them and have them near you. You don't actually need a strap. You can use a dog leash as long as your dog doesn't go crazy, or a belt of some sort. All right, so I'm going to move these out of the way for now. Start on your hands and knees. Always make sure you have a good base, because even though we're working on the hamstrings, you don't want to mess up your wrists to work on the hamstrings. So push through all 4 corners of the hand. See that your wrist is in line with the front of the mat. On the inhale, come into a cow position. Curl your toes under. Exhale, downward dog. Now, if your hamstrings are tight, you might actually have to bend both knees at first. And then you're going to lift the sitting bones. Watch. Lift the sitting bones up. I don't know if you could see that in this video, how I'm trying to lengthen the spine out a little bit. And then slowly straighten the legs out to where you don't end up curving your back into a cat. I'll get the right animal position. So it might just take a little bit of time. Lift those sitting bones up, widen the sitting bones, and then maybe slowly you can straighten your legs. Pause and breathe there. Feel. Breathing through the nose. If you know Ujjayi Pranayama, you can do that. And then you can start to pedal the legs out, just warming up the legs. Stop with the right knee bent, left leg reaches back. You might not even feel this in the hamstrings. Your Achilles tendon, your calf might be so tight that you can't even get to the hamstrings yet. But let's just start there. Breathe. If you need to bend that left knee, bend it. You can only be where you're at. Breathe fully into that. Inhale, come back to center. Both knees bent or both legs straight. And exhale, bend the left knee. If the right knee needs to bend, keep it bent. Really root that right thigh bone back, keeping that left knee bent. Find even pressure on the feet. Keep rooting through the hands. Don't forget about the hands. So I'm keeping all 4 corners of my hands rooting in. I'm even drawing my fingertips in. Breathe deep. Take an inhale. Exhale, come into a high push-up position. You can put the knees down onto the floor if this feels tough for you. Exhale, come all the way down. Just a nice low cobra. So bring your hands way out in front of you, elbows up. Pull your hands towards you isometrically, getting some nice length in the spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands beside the chest. Inhale, come up, high push-up. Exhale, downward dog. Lift the right leg up into downward dog splits. See that your toes are facing down and your whole inner leg is lifting up. There's a tendency to go out to the side. And here you should get a pretty intense stretch in that left leg. If you need to bend that left leg again, go ahead and do that. I'll probably be saying that a lot because tight hamstrings can really limit your mobility, your flexibility. So then bring your right leg all the way through on your next inhale to a lunge. Fingertips on either side. You might need 2 blocks. And you can put them on either side of your foot. And we're just going to rock back and forth from a Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, to lunge. Went back and forth, 2, 3. Move with the breath, 4, 5. And now you're going to end up in Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. I really just like to say that. It's like a tongue twister. Make sure you're not leaning over to the right and you're not leaning over to the left. Try to find even pressure on both sides. Spread your toes, bring your toes back. Reach from your inner groin out through your inner foot. Reach from your outer foot towards your outer hip. Ooh, that's intense. Also, you might need blocks here. If you're having a hard time reaching the floor, you can be here. You might also need to bend the knee. See, I told you I'd be saying that a lot. How about this? Just bend the knee whenever you need to. Slow breath. I just noticed that I was leaning over to my left a little bit, so I corrected that. Now put your weight onto your right foot and come up into pyramid pose. In pyramid pose, the back toes are really turned in. I'll turn around for you. So they're not facing straight forward like my front toes, but they're turned in quite a bit. Feet are about 2 feet in length, hip distance apart, the legs. So here you might need blocks. Again, maybe it's 3 feet. I'm terrible at judging distance, and it really just depends on your flexibility in your hips and your hamstrings. Hands on either side. You might have to take your hands up here. You might actually have to be here with bent legs. Okay, I lied. I'm going to keep saying it. Or you're all the way down here. Breathe deep. Push. Like gas pedal that front foot and turn the left inner thigh back. Slow breath. Stay here, or you're going to come into a standing split. You can grab your blocks again if you need them, and putting your weight onto your front foot. Fingertips are on the floor. Again, look at your toes, your back toes. See that they're facing down towards the floor? Breathe nice and fully. This can be quite intense, so if it is, you can back off, and you can even go back to Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Right outer hip goes back. Left inner leg lifts up towards the sky. Neck is relaxed. Face is relaxed. One more inhale. Exhale, step back, coming into a high push-up position, which it should feel like a break actually after doing all that hamstring work. Knees can be on the floor. Exhale, come all the way down. This time keep the chest, the hands by the chest. Inhale, pull yourself forward and up into cobra. So instead of push up, pull your hands isometrically back, chest forward. Exhale, downward dog. Pause, find your breath. Inhale, left leg comes up. Downward dog splits, right outer hip goes back. See that your toes are down towards the floor. Breathe into the intensity of the stretch in the right leg. Try to keep your hips down towards the floor instead of open. Evenness on the hands and the right foot, even pressure. On your next inhale, bring that leg all the way through for a lunge. Here you can grab your blocks again if you need to. Or you can be up on your fingertips. I like to be on my fingertips a lot. So you're going to inhale into Ardha Hanumanasana. Exhale, lunge. 1, 2, keep moving. Ardha Hanumanasana lunge. 3, 4, 5. Holding Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Push your heel into the floor. Draw your back knee forward. Bend the knee if you need to. Spread the toes. Reach from your inner groin out through your inner foot and draw your outer foot back towards your outer hip. Breathe into the intensity. See if you can soften some of the intensity. Bending your front knee, putting your weight onto that foot, stepping your back foot forward for pyramid pose. Feet are hip distance apart. You do not want to be in a tightrope. Grab your blocks if you need them. Bend your knees if you need to. Take an inhale. Lengthen the chest out a little bit. Even if you have to be up here, this is completely fine, and just work here. Exhale, push through the front foot. And then turn that back inner leg. So the right inner leg goes back. Pause, breathe, feel. Bring your left outer hip back. Really gas pedal that front foot. That'll actually put some energy into the back leg as well. So you can stay there, or you're going to put your weight onto your front foot, stepping your hands forward for standing splits. See that your toes are facing the floor and your inner leg is lifting. Left outer hip goes back. Pause and breathe. Bend the knee if you need to. Relax the jaw. Just notice myself gripping my jaw. Slow, deep breaths. Take an inhale. Exhale, step that foot back. Come into a high push-up position. Last one. Exhale, come all the way down. This time, lift your hands up, lifting into locust, but I want the feet down onto the floor. Using your back muscles to lift. It's your hamstring break time. Take an inhale. Exhale. Downward dog. Walk about halfway up the mat and come to a seated position. Taking your right leg out in front of you, left foot to the inside of the leg. This is where you might need to sit up on something. If your hamstrings are super tight, it's going to be difficult. So you need a little bit of help. I like to sit on the edge of the blanket, pushing my pelvis forward, giving me a little help here. Pause, breathe, root down through your legs and your buttocks. Okay, so push down through your fingertips, lift up. I'm going to give you a side view here because I want to show you something. So instead of just, rolling yourself and really trying to go forward, your hamstrings are super tight and you're compromising your back, you can bring your hands behind you and just work like this, lifting the chest. Otherwise, you can, if you're pretty flexible, take your foot. I like to take my left hand to my foot, use my right hand out as an outrigger, lift my shoulder up, and start to turn towards that leg. There's a little bit of a twist here. Breathe deep. Relaxing the jaw, the face. You get a little bonus hip stretch here. I'm getting a good one in my left hip. External rotation of that leg. Nice slow, deep breaths. Inhale, come up, and exhale, switch to the other side. Foot goes to the inside of the leg. Please sit up on something to give yourself some help. Your body will thank you for that. Again, so you're here. Come back, put your hands, I'm up on my fingertips again. Push yourself, lift yourself up, find space in the vertebrae, and then maybe you just stay here. I have yoga students that, their hamstrings are just tight, and so they stay here the whole time. It doesn't make you a nicer person that you have loose hamstrings, I promise. You're going to be an angry person if you tear your hamstring trying to work them. So as you come forward, there's a little bit of a twist. You can have both hands on either side. You can take your right hand to your left leg and turn a little bit towards that. I try to bring my right ribs towards the leg. Slow breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, we'll come into a straddle. This is quite challenging as well, so please sit up on something. I'm going to actually sit up on something today. Give myself a little lift. Toes up towards the sky. You can also take your inner thigh and your buttocks flesh, bring it back. That'll help give you a little curve in your lower back and be able to lift up instead of roll forward. Spread the toes, engage the legs. Hands come behind, just like we did in the other one if you need to. Lifting up. That might just be where you'll stay. You might be able to come a little bit forward. You breathe, you feel. Then maybe you can come a little bit more forward. Breathe and feel, and you'll probably feel this in the inner thighs as well. Maybe a little bit more. And you just keep moving slowly with your breath. Inhale, slowly coming up. Feet together. These forward bends are actually somewhat more advanced than back bends. We'll do a back bend video another time. You're here because one reason is because if you do have a back injury, your discs push out the back usually, not all the time. So if you're trying to push yourself in these forward bends and you already have a back injury, let me find the right words. You could mess yourself up, okay? So that's why putting your hands on the side, like I was showing you, is perfect. Just getting that length and eventually coming forward. If you have a back injury, do not even come forward, especially if you know it's a disc. You just stay right here the whole time. Grab your feet if you can, or hands are behind you. Strap around the legs if you'd like, or hold onto the feet. I'm engaging my legs, reaching from my inner groin out through my inner foot, because there's a tendency for the outer foot to reach more. Breathe fully. Slow breaths. Relaxing the jaw, the face. Inhale, slowly coming up. Grab your strap and come on to your back. Take your strap and put it around your right foot. Left leg is straight. If you need to bend your left leg, that's completely fine. Also, again, if you need to bend your right leg, you can. What I want you to do, if your leg is straight, is I want you to back out of the stretch until you feel a curve in your lower back. Lumbar curve is super healthy for you. So we want to keep that, so you're getting more into the hamstrings, and then start to bring the leg toward you. Now, if I curled my tailbone, I could go way further, but we're not going to do that. We're going to try to keep that curve in the lower back with your knee bent or straight, and start to bring that leg towards you. Push your foot into the strap. Breathe deep. Notice if there's anywhere that you're tensing up that doesn't need to be tense. Reach your thigh bone away from you. So as you're drawing your leg towards you, there's also an action of the leg working away from you. Putting the strap into the right hand. Bring your leg out to the side. Your left arm comes straight out to the side. I'll show you this way. Keep spinning around for you. One day I'll be fancy like all the other yoga people, and I'll have different ankles. For now, I'm just breakdancing on the yoga mats. Breathe deep. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. So in this one, again, you might need to bend the knee. Left arm is out. Right arm leg is out to the side. Slow breath. Inhale, come up, and exhale, switch to your other leg. This leg, this right leg is still working. It's not passive. I'm keeping it strong. Toes are straight up towards the sky. Find that curve in your lower back. Keep that curve in your lower back. Then start to bring your leg towards you. Breathe slowly, pushing your foot into the strap. Reach that thigh bone away from you as you draw that leg closer to you, keeping that curve in the back. So notice I just flattened it out and I had to back off a little bit. Put the strap into the left hand and bring your leg to the left. Right arm comes out to the side. Slow breath. Inhale, bring that leg up, release the strap, and come into your final relaxation, lying on your back. If you need something underneath your knees, if your lower back bothers you, you can take that blanket, roll it up underneath your knees, palms face up towards the sky. Now all the muscles are allowed to relax. So the feet can splay to the sides. It's raining outside here, so it gives it kind of a relaxing atmosphere. You can feel yourself or visualize yourself in somewhere that's relaxing to you. Letting your nervous system relax. You can stay there as long as you want. Turn the video off. Otherwise, bend your knees. Feel your feet on the ground. Roll to your side into a fetal position. Slowly coming up. My kids just got home from school. Like I said, we're keeping it real here. This is real life yoga. You might be able to hear them. Come into a seated meditation posture and sit up on your blanket. So that gives you that lift that you need to keep that lumbar curve. I can't stress that enough. And what I want to do just to end this class, short meditation, thinking of 3 things you're grateful for. It can be as simple as chocolate. And let go of those things and just meditate on the feeling of gratitude. Bring your hands into a prayer position in front of the heart. Bowing your head to your heart, honoring everything that has brought you to this moment. Namaste.